Hi there, bronies out there in YouTube land. My name is Hawkflame, and welcome to the first of my series of pony analysis videos, where I'll be taking a look at each of the main six and several others, and try to provide an in-depth rundown of that character and what they provide to the show. And while I do have my favorites, I'll try my best not to have that color my interpretation of the character too much. Emphasis on too much. I will, however, try to acknowledge said biases from the forefront, and you can make up your own mind for yourself as to whether or not they impact my analysis. Realistically, it probably totally will, but I'll give it my best anyway. And while we're at that, let's start here with my personal favorite pony, Rarity. Rarity is the element of generosity, a stylish and fashionable pony who aims to become Equestria's top designer. No matter what the occasion, she always has a dashing outfit or accessory to go along with it. She's also a business mare as a proprietor of Carousel Boutique, Ponyville's #1 clothing store, and probably their only clothing store, but whatever. She is also the big sister of Cutie Mark Crusader Sweetie Belle, whom we will definitely delve into in a future episode, and the daughter of two unnamed parents, a chubby pink unicorn with a purple mane, and a mustachioed white pony who fandom has nicknamed Magnum due to his resemblance to, well, Magnum. Personal perspective. Now, as I said before, Rarity is my personal favorite. To me, she is the most interesting character in the show, the reasons for which I will go into greater detail a little later. She has strengths and weaknesses like any other, as well as personality quirks. The way those strengths, weaknesses, and quirks play against each other creates a very interesting and dynamic character, one that I've been fascinated by since Season 1. Now, what are those qualities? First of all, she is the element of generosity. She's concerned about others, often at personal sacrifice. Whether it involves cutting off her own tail to give to a serpent to balance his mustache, making multiple outfits for her friends free of charge, including in Secret of My Excess, which people often very conveniently forget about, or her numerous displays of generosity in the most recent episode, Rarity Takes Manhattan. She even sings about it.
Generosity, I'm here to show all that I can give. Generosity, I'm here to set the bar. Just sit back and watch how I live.
She was always willing to give of herself for the sake of others. Hell, her entire life's passion revolves around making other ponies look good. She uses her gem-finding ability not to find riches for herself, but to decorate her outfits to bring out the beauty in others. And to those who say she demonstrates her generosity only once or twice, well, I won't go into arguing against that because it would take too long, and that is what the video is about, so just go to the link in the description. She's also extremely diligent, often working her flank off in her designs in order to satisfy customers, no matter how ridiculous their demands are. She even creates her own fabric and locates the gems herself, albeit perhaps with the help of Spike on at least one occasion, but still. But at the same time, yeah, she has faults, not the least of which is her vanity and tendency to get wrapped up in her own drama. And boy, does she get wrapped up in drama.
Why me? Why? Of all the worst things that could happen, this is the worst of me! What's happened? Are you all right? I've lost my diamond encrusted purple ribbon! I have searched high, and I have searched low. Low and high, high and low.
Yeah, she's a bit of a drama queen. This is what causes problems in episodes like Sonic Rainboom, where she gets so wrapped up into the spotlight with her new wings that she forgets why she got the wings in the first place, and that's to go to Cloudsdale and show support to her friend Rainbow Dash at the Best Young Flyers competition. She's also prone to jealousy when others take her spotlight, a la Fluttershy's modeling career and green isn't your color. She can be frustrated when it comes to dealing with her sister Sweetie Belle, and she often seems to violate her own sense of generosity when it comes to things like the wedding bouquet and the Canterlot Wedding Part 2, or lying to her friends to further herself among the Canterlot upper class and sweet and elite. And she can become rather self-absorbed when she lets the anger and cynicism she developed when Suri Polymer steals her designs get the best of her in Rarity Takes Manhattan. Again, this is a case of her being wrapped up in her own drama, however justified her feelings may have been. But at the same time, while she is self-absorbed, she can also manage to be perceptive of other ponies' feelings beyond those of others. She's the one who notices Rainbow Dash's nerves and prods Twilight to find a way to allow them to attend the competition, and yes, admittedly said methods end up going to her head, but her heart was in the right place to begin with. She was also the only one to notice anything going wrong with Twilight Sparkle in Lesson 0, and believe me, there was a lot going wrong with Twilight Sparkle in Lesson 0. Also, I think that some of her weaknesses bring to light one of her more interesting characteristics, and that is while she has these negative qualities, which I've mentioned before, she's also extremely self-aware when it comes to her faults. She apologizes to Dash for stealing the spotlight in Sonic Rainbow. She's the one who realizes she did wrong by Sweetie Belle and Sister Who's Social, and she's the one who ultimately chooses her friends over her social status in Sweet and Elite. In Rarity Takes Manhattan, the newest episode, she feels terrible about how she treated her friends and runs out on the awards she wins in order to go and find them. Hell, one of her crowning moments, I think, is how she tried to do her best to be a good friend to Fluttershy in spite of her jealousy in Green Isn't Your Color. And that, to me, is the essence of the difference between my perspective on Rarity and her flaws and those of her critics. Others think that Rarity is defined by her flaws. I think Rarity is defined by how she does her best in spite of them. It's okay to feel jealous or have moments of self-absorption because everyone's prone to that from time to time. What matters the most is what you do about it and whether or not that prevents you from doing the right thing in the end. And in Green Isn't Your Color, she does her best to not let that get in Fluttershy's way. And she does her absolute best to do what she thinks is right by her friend and support her, little knowing that Fluttershy doesn't actually want to be a model. Also, personally, I love her on a meta level as well. She is, to me, the very essence of what makes the show so fascinating to begin with because of what the writers, animators, and voice actors do with her beyond what they would normally do with a similar type of character in other shows. In other shows, she'd be frankly either Diamond Tiara or this.
I was like, oh, wow.
Hey,
Would you mind moving back? You're in my personal space.
but...
Seriously? Do you need your asparagus so badly? Get out live.
Oh, okay, there's no rush.
But in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, they, in the words of TV tropes, take a third option. Instead of making her an airhead or, well, a bitch, they make her into a very passionate, friendly, and creative artist whose medium happens to be clothes. That to me is an inspired direction that flies in the face of everything else done in children's programming, and that is really a strong credit to the writers, the animators, and the voice of Rarity herself, Tabitha St. Germain, who I think does a fantabulous job. So there's my assessment of Rarity. I try to be as fair as possible, but as a self-admitted Rarity fanboy, I can only do so much. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time when I handle another pony analysis.
Do they know you're all my very best friends?
Oh, and one more thing. Apparently she fights crabs. Yeah, I don't get that either.